one is going to be like chasing you around to see like, oh, did you do your 10 hours of community service? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my world. So for today's video, I thought that it would be a great idea to talk more about the honors program here at A&T. I've gotten so many questions about the application process, what's it like being an honors student here, and just like what are the basic things that you have to do as an honors student. So I'm gonna answer all of your guys' questions in this video right now, and there's a lot of things that I have to cover, so let's get straight into the video. So first I'm going to talk about all the different types of deadlines that you guys need to know for like the application process. And there are two main deadlines for applying for the honors program. There's priority deadline, and then there's the final deadline, like the final time that incoming freshmen can apply to become an honors student here at A&T. So I definitely suggest to do the priority deadline, which is November 15th. And I only suggest that because you can be considered to get a full ride scholarship here at A&T. There are two, the Cheatham White Scholarship and the Elizabeth and Dowdy Scholarship. And also you can hear back earlier if you got into the honors program or not. And there's a lot of people applying to be an honors student here, so you'll have more of a shot at getting accepted into the program if you apply earlier. So if you decide you don't want to do the priority deadline, or you miss the priority deadline for the honors program, the final date to apply to be in the honors program is February 1st. And if you're watching this video right now and you were an incoming freshman and you were actually thinking about applying to the honors program, I'm sorry, that date has now passed, but you do have a chance to apply again your sophomore year, and that deadline is December 15th. So current students can apply to this deadline, and transfer students can apply to this deadline if you still want to be in the honors program here at A&T. Alright, so now I'm going to talk about the requirements and criteria that you need when you're doing the whole application process for the honors program. So the first thing that they look at is your GPA. You at least need to have a cumulative 3.75 GPA. So if you have that or higher, you're good to go for that. For SAT and ACT scores, they didn't look at SAT or ACT scores for fall 2022 and fall 2021 for me, so I'm not sure if they're going to change that for fall 2023, but I would definitely look at the website to make sure if they're asking for ACT or SAT scores. I don't really remember what scores they were looking for beforehand because again, they didn't require a test score for me, but definitely if you're thinking about applying, look on the website and make sure if they're requiring a score or not. Another thing that you have to have, or that is good to have, is that you're involved in extracurricular activities like volunteering or involved in like your clubs at your school. If you have a lot of those, that's good to put down in the application. So make sure you have like a bunch of extracurriculars that you can put down for the application. Another good thing to have is showing the classes that you take, like how rigorous your classes are. They want to know that you actually like to learn, because the honors program, like, you gotta love to learn. So make sure you're showing that you're involved in AP or IB classes. Those are great. They love seeing like you actually trying to like challenge yourself, because the honors program can be challenging. So if you're showing in high school that you challenge yourself and you take these rigorous courses, they love to see it. And the second thing that you need to do for the application is an essay. So the essay was really easy. I think it was like a 500-word essay. Don't quote me on this. It was a long time ago since I've applied, but the essay question prompt was not too hard and it wasn't that time consuming at all. So just one essay and you're good to go. The next thing that you also need to consider are letters of recommendation. I don't remember the certain amount of numbers that you need to have for letters of recommendation. I believe it might be at least 1 or 2, but do not quote me on that. So just ask a teacher that knows you well to be able to write you a letter so you can be considered to be an honors student here. The last thing that I believe you do is an interview. For me, they did it online. It wasn't even on Zoom. It was a weird interviewing thing where they had a question written on the screen and I would just have to answer it on camera. So I don't know if they changed that whole interviewing process or if they're doing it on Zoom or not, or if they just got rid of the interviewing process. I have no idea, but just be aware that you might have to do an interview when applying to be in the honors program for first year incoming freshman students. But overall, they look at you holistically. They don't just focus on your grades or your volunteering and all that. They look at everything. So you just want to make sure you have that GPA, you have extracurriculars, you're showing involvement in rigorous courses and a love for learning. And that's pretty much all you need to have to be set and be a good candidate to be in the honors program. Alright, so you applied to the honors program, you successfully got into the program. What are the perks that you get for being an honors student at A&T? Well, the first perk is that you get to live in a living learning community in the Villages. The honors dorms are Blair Hall and McNeil Hall. I'm in Blair Hall, the best hall. McNeil, sorry, you're not better than Blair. Blair is better. But those are the 2 honors dorms, and you get to live with other people who are a part of the honors program. So you guys are all going through the same thing. You're all together in one community, which is great, and I love that. I've made so many friends here at the living learning community for honors dorms, and I just love it there. And it's great that it's the Villages. You get nicer dorms. If you see my dorm tour, check out that video to see like the whole room. And it's also in the center of everything. Like, you're near your classes, you're near the student center, you're right in the middle of it all, so you don't have to do a lot of walking to places, so that is also a plus. Another great perk is that you get to choose your classes earlier before everyone else. So that is great. Like, applying to classes can be stressful and they can go out so fast, but since you're an honor student, you can do that before everyone else, like all the regular students. So that is really great. I got all my classes that I wanted when I applied early, since we get priority at like applying to stuff. So that is a great perk. I love that perk. But yeah, those are the perks of being an honor student. I'm gonna talk about the daily things that you have to do when you are accepted to be an honor student here. So the honors program has certain requirements that you have to do each semester to stay in the honors program. So the first requirement is, of course, GPA. You at least need to have a 3.5 cumulative GPA. So make sure that you stay on top of your work and your classes at school and college, because if you go down a little bit, you will be put on probation first, and they'll give you time to get your grade up, and then if it's still not at the requirement, you will probably get kicked out of the honors program. So just make sure that you have that GPA up and good to go. The next requirement is community service. So for each semester, you have to have at least 10 hours of community service. And I know it might seem like a lot, but if you were involved in NHS or any other type of club that required you to do a certain number of community service hours, it's kind of the same thing like that. And there are so many opportunities to do community service. The honors program people, they are great at notifying us when there's available community service opportunities. They always like give us an email or put it down in like some type of group chat that we're in. So there's like, it's not really hard to find community service. I was able to get all of my 10 hours done within the first 2 to 3 weeks of coming back here for spring semester. So you just need to be on top of it and make sure you're checking your email to see all of the available community service opportunities. So the next requirement that you also need to do to stay in the honors program is to attend at least 2 cultural events. And cultural events are just different types of functions or programs that are happening around at A&T. So it could be like going to a school play that like the theater people are hosting, or going to, I remember me and a couple of my friends went to this event called Afro World, and we were just watching people dance to African music and doing African dances, and there was like even a fire person, like she was like throwing fire in the air. It was really cool. But the cultural events are really fun, and it's just super cool. You can get all of your friends together and you can just go to those events. It really honestly makes you be more involved on campus. If anything, it doesn't even feel like you're like required to do it. It feels like you're just having fun, going out with your friends and attending all these different events that the school has. Another requirement that you have to do is at least 2 lecture series. So lecture series are these hosted events. They're usually on Zoom because of COVID, so I don't know if they will do in-person ones coming up, but we have lecture series on Zooms, and a bunch of different speakers will come to talk to us about a certain topic. Sometimes it will be about how to be a good leader, how to use good time management skills. So you at least need to attend 2. You can of course attend to more, but those are really helpful, and it really gives you like life lessons and life goals to set for yourself in college. So lecture series are also great too, to like learn how to be a better student or to just learn how to network. Another requirement that you have to do to stay in the honors program is to do honors classes or have like honors credit. So by the time you graduate, you have to have a certain amount of honors credit to graduate in honors. So the honors program will have either honors classes, or you can do something called honors contracts. So honors classes, they're just classes specifically for honor students that you can apply to, and I applied to one right now. I'm in like an honors history class, and it's pretty much like the same thing as a normal class, but you might move at a faster pace depending on the teacher, since it is an honor student and they hire you to like a certain level since you're an honors student. If you're unable to get into any honors classes, or it just doesn't work with your schedule, you could do something called an honors contract. I had to do that my fall semester here at A&T, and what an honors contract is, you would go talk to your professor and you would ask them, hey, like I'm an honors student, do you think I can have an honors contract with you? And they can say yes or no. And once they sign that contract, you just have to do like one extra thing, like one extra project or assignment to get honors credit. So when I was in another history class, a regular history class, I did an honors contract with my teacher, and the only extra thing that I had to do was make a presentation on a book that we had on each chapter, and then I was good to go and I got the honors credit. So there's 2 different ways you can get honors credit. I don't know which one I prefer right now since I'm currently doing an honors class, so I'm trying to see like, do I like honors classes or honors credit? But yeah. So I guess now that I've shared to you all the requirements for being in an honors program, I guess I'll give you guys some tips. The first tip, use good time management skills. It can become a lot when you're doing lecture series, cultural events, and community service. So you want to make sure that you're managing your time well, because you also need to keep your GPA up. So make sure you like have all of your priorities straight and you know what you need to do and when you need to do it. So make sure you're on top of that. And a second thing is, no one is going to be like chasing you around to see like, oh, did you do your 10 hours of community service? Did you do your 2 cultural events and your 2 lecture series? Like, you're gonna have to be accountable for all of the stuff that you do in honors, and you like submit it yourself. So you need to keep track of like everything that you do and also be on top of that, because you're no longer in high school and they're not going to like chase you around to make sure that you did all of your required materials for each semester. So just make sure you're on top of that. It's also good to be very well organized, set calendars, reminders about things, because when you're doing a bunch of stuff and activities at school, you can tend to forget stuff. I'm definitely forgetful, so I got this calendar app that notifies me about certain things, and now I'm not forgetful anymore. So just make sure you have like good organization tactics for like remembering the different types of things that you have to do on campus. My last tip is to just breathe and relax. It's not stressful if you make it stressful, if you get what I mean. Like, you will be in the living and learning community along with every other honors student here at A&T, and you guys are all going through the same thing. If you just need some time to distress, like, you can always talk to someone. If you want to like study with other honor students, you can always do that. Like, there's always someone there, and just know that like you're not alone and you're not going through it alone. Everyone else is going through it, and just know when to say no, and don't wear yourself too thin with doing all of these extra activities. Like, just know when like you can't do too much. Like, know your limits to doing activities so you won't stress yourself out too much. But those are my tips for being an honors student. If you guys have any other questions, don't be afraid to leave them in the comments down below. You can also DM me on Instagram. That's also in the description down below. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope I didn't leave anything out. If I did, again, DM me on Instagram or put it in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Sitting in silence, we still feel the vibe, but you could not say a word, and I know what you just decided. We'd be right in the